Just outside the depot. Just going to give a quick guided tour of what we've now got. Coming inside the main entrance to the shop front. Have all of our certificates showing that we're genuinely authorised for the work that we do. Have the corridor leading to our toilets and our kitchen area. And the stairs going up to the training rooms. Going that way. Into the hire desk. All just before the rest of the staff come in. Into where IT normally works. Past the BA racks. And into the breathing apparatus and gas detection service area. This is where all the service work on those items happens. And then out to our hydraulic testing station, where we do the 5-year hydrostatic tests for cylinders. Then our refill station for our breathing apparatus, our wash down and clean area, and then equipment coming back in and going out. Star lorry doors. Then to where we store all of our A-frame gantries and our davits and tripods. And our tripod testing area. Then have our racks for our breathing apparatus and easy cats, compressors. Set up here for today for people when they're walking around, just to show some of the equipment, how it looks. So we've got a catwalk clamp and the BA trailer. And we've just been setting up a few items that people wouldn't normally see, like the easy line for restraint purposes and fall arrest, where you've got an edge. And then we've got our area with our tripod and our winches. Then we get to our pipe stoppers, where they're just on display for the open day. And then our work area for repairing all of the tripods and winches. And then dispatch area. Moving on from that, we go to the stairs. And we've now got a nice new sign above the top. Training centre. So now walk up the stairs. There's all of our City and Guilds format and layout. Walking through into the main corridor. We have our racks for equipment for training. Coming into the canteen. And our toilets and shower block. We then come into our first classroom. And in here we have everything that any contractor would ever possibly want to ask for confined spaces entry and setup. So we can put davits in, like we've got here, or tripods, or we can put up 5-piece davits. We have electrical turn-offs, we have BA board, and every requirement that City and Guilds asks for. Then coming back through, we come up to our second training room. And in the second training room, we've got all the tables and chairs, all laid out again in accordance with C&G. And we also have another manhole area with a grid lock over it. Just about to put some barriers around it because obviously today we've got the open day. We also have a certified anchor point fitted in the ceiling, although we can quite easily get tripods in here as well and a 5-piece davit. So walking over to the area, grid locks in place. Just make sure the clips are in so nobody can kick it out the way. And that leads down to a manhole below by a short set of stairs and a secondary drop. So from in here you can see our height safety training area. So we'll just walk through and into the height safety area. Again, this is all set up today for our open day. Go through, everything's laid on, the hatches will be open. We have our drop test dummy already supported, waiting for his first drop. Although to be quite honest, today there's going to be drops, there's going to be rescue scenarios, and we'll be stating why people need to do their risk assessments and how that will lead them to the equipment they need. Looking down, we've got a rail lock, so we can give advice on ladder safety and how we should look at the safe rescue. We've got Roglish R250 kits, we've got the Roglish 350, we've got the latest Kratos device, and we'll have a full range of other equipment that will all be on show and demo, and we'll actually be writing off quite a lot of that equipment. And we then have our escape area, but the escape area is actually used as our sole access to the downstairs of our height safety. So we can look back up and see all the drop test area, and this gives a nice impression of realism. And we then have our corridor for our confined space training area. So looking at the first doorway here, if we go into here, we have our first manhole, and that leads back to the ladder of training room 2. We then have a myriad of tunnels, higher and lower levels, dead ends, backdrops, all sorts of different things there. Walking on down through, we have a middle manhole section, and this section can be locked off from inside, and we can also open up higher and lower sections. Which gives us multiple options, again, for causing scenarios to the candidates as to whether they can or cannot use their intended escape route. This then comes down to an access area that makes it easier for us to put the deadweight dummy in, although not easier for the candidates, because trying to lift the 90 kilos from here up the slope is very difficult, especially when we're in full BA. And that finally leads us into the manhole area underneath the main training room, where we can look back up and see the davit system over the top. All of this area can be lit up, so if we press the button, tunnel system and the manholes all light up. That can be turned on from downstairs or upstairs. And then making our way back down past all of the confined space training area. Leads finally as a fire escape for candidates. Which brings us to the back of the building where the rest of the work is.